Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Life with Amber. So hi everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just so excited to be back doing videos with you all. As you know, my last video was at my 39th week of pregnancy, and as you can see, or as you can probably tell, there's no more baby here. The baby has arrived, and she's beautiful and well. I'll bring her into the camera soon, and I'm probably sure you all can hear her cooing in the back. So I'm filming this video in her nursery, and I do want to discuss my labor and delivery and how things went with that. So I'm excited to share this information with you all. So again, don't mind her cooing in the back. She's fine. I'll bring her in on the camera so she can have her debut soon, depending on how she acts in her crib. Yeah. But so currently I am 6 weeks postpartum, and I'm pretty much feeling back to normal, like my pre-baby self. My birthday is tomorrow, so I'm excited, trying to get excited about that. There's been some recent events within our family that has been kind of taking a toll on this whole week. So I'm trying to dedicate time for that, and also be excited about my birthday as well. So just send your prayers. Definitely needed at this time, but trying to get excited about my birthday tomorrow. Malia. She's not gonna let me do the video. You ready for your debut? Oh, girl. Okay. Okay, I think she's ready for her debut now. Hold on, let me grab her. Okay, Miss Mamas, you have to say hello to the camera. Nope, not over there, boo. Over here. Say hello, my name is Malia. Say hello. Well, this is introducing Malia Michelle McLean. Malia was born on February 2nd, 2021. Malia was born at 12:39 a.m. and say I was 9 pounds and 9 ounces. Did you say that? You was a big girl? You was a big girl? Yes. So, as I mentioned, if you haven't got a chance to look at the 39-week video, please give that a view. So, here's the story, guys. I won't try not to keep you for long, but the story is I was determined to have Malia on January 31st. Why? Because that was my grandmother's birthday, and so I thought it would be special to have her date, kind of share it with her grandmother, her great grandmother, and so I was determined. That was her due date, and so I was like, she's gonna come on her due date. No ifs, ands, or buts. So at 39 weeks, I think I was about 2 centimeters dilated. But you know that, you can be 2 centimeters for weeks and baby still not come. So we had arranged that weekend. The 31st was a Sunday. So we had arranged that weekend for my son, my 2-year-old son, Isaiah, to go stay with his grandmother. So that way we'll have, our time, instead of like rushing to drop him off and then figure it out. If I was ready, we'll just go straight to the hospital and, have the baby. So, dropped Isaiah off. So on the 31st, still woke up, no baby. But I'm like, I'm determined to have this baby. I was having some mild contractions the night before, but nothing worth like rushing to the hospital for, because they would have probably just sent me right back home. So woke up and I was like, okay, we're gonna have this baby today. But still no like water didn't break or contractions weren't coming strong at all yet. So I was like, all right, Malik, are you sleepy? You sleepy? Contractions weren't that strong. So going about our day, I was walking around the house. I was like watching YouTube videos on like how to like naturally induce your labor, because I'm like, she's coming on the 31st. Was watching videos. Again, walking around the house, I was trying to do like squats and things like that. Definitely was trying to like have her come that day. They also say, inside scoop, that sex is good for natural like induction, like getting the baby to come out faster. So we was trying that as well. So we was trying everything. Like, all right, baby, it's time for baby to come. So at about, I don't know, we had lunch. Me and my husband had lunch. We had Jersey Mike's, I think, at like noon or something. And then I think it was around 4 o'clock. I think I got hungry again. So I was like, okay, I'm going to order some sushi because I have a taste for that. And I also ordered some deep fried cheesecake, y'all. I was definitely pregnant. So, ordered DoorDash, got to the door. I was like, okay, cool. So I was sitting on the couch at that time, like, all right, well, I guess I'll have to like deal with the fact that I'll probably have like a February baby. Like, I don't know. I didn't know at that point, like, when she was gonna come. She was gonna come on the 1st, 2nd. I'm like, I just never pictured in my head, like, oh, my baby's gonna come in February. I'm like, I have to get used to that. So Mario opened the door, got the food. So I get up, I walk in the kitchen. I'm excited about my sushi, excited to eat it. And then here we go. I felt some leakage, okay? And I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm like, am I peeing on myself? I'm like, wait, no, this can't be. So I'm like trying to hold it. But it wasn't like a big like break or gush. I'm like, oh my God, Mario, I think I'm leaking. I think my water is leaking. So I went to the bathroom and I'm like, yeah, this definitely not urine. So definitely water. Definitely amniotic fluid. So yep. So he was definitely ready. Like at that point, he was like, let's do anything to try to get this baby. I'm ready to meet my baby girl. So as soon as I was like, yeah, I think my water just ruptured. So he's like, all right, let's go. He got his coat on, shoes. He was ready, almost out the door quicker than me. I'm like, well, hold on. So I'm like, definitely good to get to the hospital because, you know, you want to make sure I learned my lesson from last time. And if you don't know what that lesson was, go back and watch the last previous video. And I explained everything, kind of how it happened when I had my son. But anyway, we get to the hospital and they check to make sure, you know, it was my water. And so, lo and behold, it was. I'm like, I knew it. It wasn't anything else. So, at that point, as I mentioned, you know, I had started having, you know, mild contractions the night before. So I was kind of, you know, naturally laboring. And about the time I got to the hospital, which was about 5:30, 6 o'clock, maybe about 5:30, I was already 5 centimeters dilated. So I'm like, oh, 5? Okay, look at me. Excited. Because in my mind, you know, once you get to like 7, it's like you jump from 7 centimeters dilated to like 10. So I'm like, okay, I'm excited. 5 is a good number. Baby's coming. So I'm like, ooh, baby's going to come today, you know, the 31st. Like, this is exciting. This is what I wanted. Boom. So great. We check in, we get our room. I'm in there. And they're talking about like, you know, maybe we'll help you like further along as far as like me contracting and stuff. And they might be like giving me Placenta or something. But I'm like, no, I really want to like labor naturally. Like, I don't really want anything to help, because I know last time it was like, I don't know, super pain, but like when you get Pitocin and stuff to help you, I think it brings on more pain. But when I was laboring naturally, like, of course the contractions like hurt, like they were definitely strong, but it was a different feeling than when I got the Pitocin last time. So I was like, I mean, can I walk around or something? And she's like, the nurse was saying, she was I had a great nurse. She was really sweet and super nice. But yeah, she was like, no, we're just gonna have you save your, energy for, actual delivery. And I was like, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right about that. Gonna need that energy, especially since I didn't get to eat my sushi. We ended up bringing it to the hospital, and Mario ended up eating, but of course I couldn't eat. But they did give me water. Last time I didn't get any water. They on it was like, you can eat these ice chips. I'm like, what ice chips? So at least I got to sip some water. So anyway, we're there. I'm, contracting, having contractions. Baby's heart rate is good. But then I guess the heart rate started to get like a little flat instead of like movement. So the nurse continued to have me like turn to the side and try to get the heart rate to, have more movement. But throughout my whole pregnancy, I pretty much slept on my back, because it really was painful to sleep on my side. I just felt like my stomach was like pulling into one direction. So I never slept on my side. So 40 weeks pregnant at the hospital having contractions, and she making me like turn to the side, and like it was just not comfortable at all, especially in the hospital delivery bed. That is the most uncomfortable bed. Like, I would rather bring my own mattress to the hospital. Plus I'm like 5'10" and a half, so my feet are touching the base of the bed. The pillows are like paper thin, and you only get like 2, maybe 3, and then these little hospital sheets thin. So it's just not the most comfortable environment to be in. But then I kept getting up using the bathroom. So every time I get up, I would have to unplug from the machine they have you hooked up to monitor your heart rate and contractions. So then I would have to turn and like do some other, like, I don't know, turn to the right, turn to the left, because they wouldn't get the heart rate good on the monitor thing. But either way. So either way, I was there. I was breathing through my contractions. I went in with a plan to like not have any medication as far as like for pain and things like that. Like, I definitely wanted to have the baby naturally with no medication, kind of how I did for my son. And that was just my decision. Of course, I'm not saying anything is the best way to have. If you want medication, if you want the epidural, get it. But that just wasn't my plan. I kind of psych myself out of getting it, more like out of like horror stories, more or less. It's kind of like a mental thing for me. But definitely was working through it. I was like, pain was increasing more and more. I think around 10 p.m. maybe. Definitely was like, all right, like, think the baby is near. Contractions were picking up. I was like holding my husband's hand super, super tight. She's just sitting content. She's so sweet. Mama, you listening to me? She might fall asleep, y'all. So yeah, so I was like squeezing my husband's hand every contraction, and I get hot. Like, my head gets hot when I like laboring. So he grabbed the like hospital menu and started fanning me. So I was breathing through my contractions, and I felt different. Like, I felt like, naturally, laboring naturally like that, with no help. My contractions were intense still, but they were manageable. And then the like having them far apart, like they weren't far apart, but I felt like when I had the Pitocin from my last labor and delivery, the contractions were like nonstop. Like they were like back to back. You didn't have a chance to catch your breath and like start back over. It was just like, whoa, is this gonna, like, are they gonna let up? So I felt like this time it was like, okay, I know a contraction's coming. I feel it. Let me breathe through, and then I'm back to like talking normal kind of thing. Like I was like definitely in the right state of mind. Like I was there, like mentally. I was present. I felt like I really was kind of like out of it when I had my son. So yeah, so I was at, so maybe about 10 p.m. or something. I was at a 7 and contractions were coming. I was like, all right, can y'all please check me again? Like, I think it's time to have a baby. And then my doctor wasn't there yet, but the doctor that was on call, that was on duty, checked me again. She was like, oh, we still at a 7. So I was literally in disbelief. I was like, Mario, did they say I was still at a 7? I'm still at a 7. I can't be at a 7. I gotta be at a 10. It's time to push. I was really like, why would y'all tell me I'm still at a 7? No. I wasn't really accepting that. So I was like, well, can y'all, they was like, your doctor's on her way. Like, it's almost time. Like, you're doing great, blah, blah, blah. Y'all, she's asleep. She just, okay. Girl. Well, I'm just let her sleep. She's so cute. So anyway, I was like, they were like, we're calling your doctor. She's on her way, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, cool. So I don't know, maybe it's 11:30. Might have been 11:30 or so. I was like feeling it, like, whoo, contractions hitting, like, whoo. I'm squeezing onto the rail that they have on the side of the bed. Like, I'm holding on to that. I'm like moving with my contractions. So when my contractions come, like, I kind of like try to pull myself up or like move around, because I felt like it was helping with the pain more if I like moved around. And also squeezing my husband's hand again. So he's like trying to trade hands every time, because he's like, ooh, you squeezing my hand. I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, no, it's okay. So of course he's there right by my side. Doctor comes, she checks me. I'm at a 9. I'm like, oh, it's time. Like, I'm about to push at this point. Y'all ready? But she's like, no, because, your cervix still hasn't, softened all the way yet. Like, it still has some left or whatever. Like, we'll give it some time, but, it's almost that time. So, they got the room ready and stuff. And then the nurse was telling me, like, well, no, you're doing good. Everything's great. I'm like, but I need to push this baby out. Like, it's time. These contractions are heavy hitting. Like, it is time. So I can, oh, I'm sorry. I'm too loud. So I can imagine, I don't know. I'm not keeping track of the time, obviously, because I'm like focused on managing my pain. But maybe about 12, I guess. I don't know. She checked me again, and well, maybe not 12. I don't know. Whatever. She checked me again, and I was still at a 9, y'all. Still at a 9. I said, oh, nah. Mario, she playing. This is a joke. It's a joke. Cause I'm still at a 9. No, it has to be a 10. I'm ready to push. I'm feeling the pressure. She said, are you feeling pressure? Yes. Pressure is felt. I'm feeling it. It's y'all ready? Who's down there to catch the baby? Cause I'm about to push the baby out. So yeah. Anyway, it came that time. And so she was like, she's still at a 9, but we're gonna have you push, try to push. So I tried to push the first time, and they were like, okay, you can wait. Let's wait it out, like 2 more contractions, and then you can start pushing again. So I'm waiting, having these contractions, breathing through them. I'm like, Lord, please let me push this baby out, because when you start pushing, it feels better. Like your contractions ease once you push through your contractions. So I toughed out a couple more. I think it was 3. She made me go through 3 more contractions. I'm like, Lord, please. So she made me go through 3 more contractions. I think she was trying to make sure my cervix was softened all the way. So also during this time, I think she was trying to release my bladder. I didn't feel like I had to use the bathroom, and I had been using the bathroom already. So I had to get a catheter placed real quick to release my bladder, and that felt very weird. I never had that done before, obviously. So that felt weird. So they kind of let my bladder out to make room for the baby to come out. So that was that. And then she was like, okay, so you can keep pushing. So I started to push. So I'm pushing, and I push it. I always do this. I push like from my face. I just like hold my breath and just like make the pushing sound, but I'm not really pushing all the way out. So it was like, okay, you're pushing through your face. Like, you need to hold your breath and like push like you're using the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, I need to get my push game a little bit stronger, but it's cool. Push the baby out. So I think, I tried to mentally kind of close my eyes and be like, okay, Amber, push through. So I'm like pushing through. They're like, yes, great. They can see the head. Baby's crying. They have a lot of hair. I'm like, oh, perfect. It's about, she's about to be here. So then I have my eyes closed. I remember this specifically. I have my eyes closed. I'm like pushing. I'm pushing my hardest, trying to hold my breath. Whew. They want me to hold my own leg up. Mario, I think, on one side, but they want me to hold this leg up. I'm like, no, nurse, you hold my leg. I can't hold my leg, push, think, try to get it in my space. It's too much. So my leg's slipping. I think I'm like moving up the bed. They like, we need you to come down. We need you to come down. I'm like, okay, everybody yelling at me. I just want to get this baby out. It was a lot. So I just remember like getting in the zone. Like, it was like a moment where I'm like, okay, Amber, push the baby out. Let's go. It was like a let's go moment. And I opened my eyes. Like, usually with stuff like that, I had my eyes closed. I'm trying to like think. I open my eyes. I'm looking at my doctor. I'm like, okay, we about to push this baby out. So I'm pushing with my eyes open. I didn't do that with my son. I wasn't doing that earlier. But this time I had my eyes open. It was a cross. It was a cross right on the wall, like directly in front of the bed. I'm looking at the cross. I'm like mentally in my head, I'm like, God's gonna get me through. He's gonna help. I'm praying, very spiritual. So I'm like, yes, this is making me feel a lot better with this here. Just feeling like, I don't know, it's a spiritual thing for me. So at that moment, had my eyes open, I was pushing, boom, push. They're saying push, go, keep pushing, keep pushing. So I felt her head come out. I was like, oh yes, like the head is out. So I'm pushing the rest of the body out. So once I feel like the body come out and the legs, I was like, oh my God. It was like a breath of like relief. Like, I did it. Head falls back. They immediately placed her on my chest. I'm in full-blown emotional mode, about to cry tears of joy, tears of happiness. She's finally here. Yes. So that was it. So Malia was there, and of course, you have to also deliver the placenta that's inside once you're pregnant. So with that, you don't have to like push it out. They more or less kind of push on your stomach, and it kind of releases. Mario was able to cut the umbilical cord, and it was great. It was great. It was a wonderful moment, a beautiful moment, beautiful feeling. Baby girl was here. It was exciting. And then they tell me, whoa, she's a big baby. She's a big baby. Now, behind that, I just knew. They're like, yeah, girls are usually smaller than the boys. And she's going to be little. Like, you don't look as big as you did, from your last pregnancy, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, right. I went to the doctor. I may have been like, I don't know, 37 weeks or so. She's measuring at about 8 pounds. Oh, great. she's probably gonna be 8 pounds. Maybe she's gonna be less than that, because my son Isaiah was measuring at like 9 pounds, and he came out 8 pounds and 14 ounces. So I'm like, okay, so he wasn't at 9, but he measured at 9. So I'm like, oh, she's at 8, so maybe she'll come out like 7 pounds, 14 ounces. Maybe she come at 8 pounds, maybe 2 ounces. Miss Big Mama came out at 9 pounds and 9 ounces. And I said, oh, it really changed up the game. Like, I really delivered a 9 pound, 9 ounce baby. Almost 10 pounds. Shout out to the mamas who's had in the 9 pound, 10 pound game. Just shout out to us. Cause why? Cause in my mind, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be easy. You know, it's not gonna be easy. It's not easy. But it's gonna be better delivering, you know, a 7 pound baby versus 8 or 9. And then they like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, wow. So she was 9 pounds, 9 ounces. Big baby, bigger than my son. So I said, okay. Well, I guess we got us a 9 pound baby. But all in all, it was wonderful, beautiful. So yeah, so that was that. She got here, she was great. 21.5 inches long. Beautiful, head full of hair. And yeah, we were at the hospital. So that was at 12:39 a.m. So I didn't get my January 31st baby, but I got a February 1st baby. And it's still beautiful because her birthday is like 21/21. So she's still unique in her own right. She wanted her own date, so that's fine. That's what she got. So yeah, so that was labor. That was delivery. It took me all of 6 hours of laboring and delivery. With my son, it was 12 hours. Yeah, because I got there like noon to the hospital, and I had him at 1:09 a.m. So looks like I'm having night owl babies, but hey, and some big juicy babies. So currently, she's at 6 weeks and she's about 12 pounds. So she's at the 93rd percentile of her age range. Very, yep, big girl. She's wearing a size 3 months in clothes, and I'm halfway about to put her in size 2 diapers. She got to run through the rest of these size 1s, and then she's about to hop into the size 2 game. So yeah, that was that. Okay. So yeah, that was labor and delivery. Definitely went well, went as planned. And not everyone does. Obviously, everything might change. You never know what really you're gonna get or expect, but I'm definitely prayerful and blessed that everything went as planned and according to God's plan, and we're excited to have our 2 babies. Yeah, so we stayed at the hospital for the first, and then we left the next day on the second, and came home, and she met her big brother. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen the video of them 2 kind of meeting each other for the first time. So Isaiah was whining, he was crying, upset. And then as soon as he seen his baby, he ran in, dropped his toys and everything, ran into her, and kind of just like loved on her immediately. So that just made us feel so good about their relationship. And every morning it's the same thing. He kind of gets up and it's like, baby. He calls her baby. We're teaching him Malia or little sister or sister, but he calls her baby. And so he wants, where's my baby? He's always loving on her. So definitely a big brother, and he's a wonderful big brother. So we're excited for their relationship and kind of growing up together, being so close in age, just pretty much 2 years apart. So definitely exciting for us and our family, and we're so grateful for everything. So definitely we'll give more updates on Malia and Isaiah and how they are and how they grow up together. and then how we just navigate in this space. I'll definitely do another video around just life with a toddler and an infant and a newborn. So it's pretty crazy. I mean, you know, pretty crazy. Shout out to, you know, Dad for helping out. We kind of double team it, you know, you get one, I'll get the other type thing. So it's working. And I'll kind of talk about in another video too, you know, just life kind of adjusting and things like that with the new baby at home. But yeah, just wanted to talk about my labor and delivery experience with y'all today. And hopefully you've learned something from my experiences, or maybe you have questions or something. Please leave them in the comments below. Or if you have any experiences you would like to share, again, leave those in the comments. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. We definitely just want to give real life. I just want to give my real life experiences and what's going on, and hopefully encourage and empower some other women, family, I mean, even men too. So please subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram as well. This is Life with Amber. I post a lot of content of babies and me and things like that. So just want to give some real life, like no made up, this is all great, everything's wonderful. I just want to like be very transparent with everybody and kind of tell everybody this is the real life of a real mama and wife and sister and friend and employee and all that good stuff too. But yeah, so sorry Malia went to sleep on a video. Hopefully y'all not sleep too on the video. But just kidding. So I'm gonna end it here. Let me know if y'all have questions again, and I'll see y'all in the next video.